Sundowning and depression. Hello, March 28th, Friday, 2025. How you doing? So I know that some people, they freak out when they see their loved one going through these episodes of fear, uncertainty. They're worried all the time. They say things like, I want to go home, when they are home. Or they say, I just need to call my parents, but they're 80 years old. Their parents aren't alive any longer. You know? I know some people, it's a rare occasion where the people live to be 80 or more and want to know both of their parents are still alive. But you get the picture, right? Sometimes with the sundowning effect, we have some depression where the person will be walking and pacing the hall, or the room, maybe they're anxious, maybe they're sitting in the table, they're crying, they're trying to figure out what's wrong. They don't know what's wrong. There's something going on inside of them because the brain is experiencing dementia, Alzheimer's, right? So I think probably some of the best things you can do is like distract a person. If they keep talking about a certain thing, try to distract that. Don't just say, well, your parents are dead for 40 years. They might not be able to process it. They might not be able to believe that, grasp it, or it might fill them with fear if they think their parents are dead, So you might see bouts of depression with the sundowning. It's probably all normal, but one of the best things you can do is talk to your loved one's doctor and see what there is out there. And I don't mean in terms of medication, because a lot of these medications, you give it to somebody, you give it to some patient, and it knocks them out for 12 hours. Well, if they slept from 10 at night to 7 in the morning, and they're up now, and it's late in the morning or early afternoon, and they're experiencing sundowning syndrome or sundowning effect, you don't want to put them to sleep for the day, and then have to give another something to sleep at night. Excuse me. I'm not cutting that out. I just wing it in these videos. So you have to be sure that whatever the doctor recommends, it's not going to put them in a coma for the day. And they might want, your loved one may wander around and end up in somebody else's property. They may wander around. They may be able to figure out where they lived when they were a kid, if it's close by to where they're living now. And they may go to that house and sit on the porch where so many people have done. And then the new owners come home and they say, hey, can I help you? And they say, well, I'm waiting for my parents. This is where I live. And they end up calling the police, and the ambulance comes, and they take them to the hospital because they know the person's suffering with dementia, Alzheimer's. So sundowning effects can just be that they're nervous and rambunctious, and maybe they're not saying they want to go home, but they're just roaming around and they're trying to figure things out. There's something wrong, but they don't know what it is. Just checking the time here. Guys, depression may go hand in hand with dementia as well, Maybe not all the time, maybe not for all patients. But that's something you can talk to your loved one's doctor about. And express the concern that you don't want to be giving them pills that are going to knock them out for hours upon hours upon hours when they've only been awake for 5 or 6. Because a person deserves the right to live their life and socialize, have something to eat. And you don't want them half in the bag from a medication. What if they have to take other medications later? If they're falling asleep, they could end up choking and breathing in, aspirating the pill. or the water. So that's bad. You want to try to find ways of dealing with depression symptoms or something like that during the day that don't involve a person being sedated. Because there's just too many drawbacks from that. I mean, maybe if they need a little something at night and it helps them sleep, but that's after they've had their medicine, after they've had something to eat, after they had something to drink, And you want to make sure that if they have something to drink, that they're not laying down, anytime soon. 20 minutes, half an hour, if they can sit up, that's good. So that doesn't come back up and end up in their lungs. Sundowning has many effects. I tell you, I've been there. Done that, retired. I did it for my parents. They both passed on. I'm not doing that any longer. You just have to kind of like sail through. I know it's frustrating. I know it gets aggravating. Reach out for as much help as you can. Sundowners syndrome or Sundowning, whatever you call it. I just call it Sundowning. There's a few different names. But somebody in that situation is just confused, frightened. They don't know what's going on. They might be looking out the window if it's winter time where you are and see snowflakes fall, and they don't understand. And they may have grew up in the Northeast or whatever, but they don't understand what that is. Maybe some do, and hopefully they do. So kind of remain calm, be patient. Just know that it's a sundowning cycle. Sometimes people have been known to walk through the cemeteries looking for their loved ones, sleep on their graves. Sometimes they pick up the phone and they keep dialing 411 and charge up $500 on the phone bill looking for their parents that had died 20 years ago. There's all kinds of things. Well, I have to go to school. I have to pick up my kids. Well, I have to go get my husband or my wife is coming home. Don't be surprised at anything they utter. Because they just don't know. They just don't understand. Sundowning, sundowners, and depression can oftentimes walk hand in hand. Speak to the doctor, speak to the nurse, do some research. Talk to the people at a facility if that's where your loved one is. Try to keep the sedation medicines away during the day so the person can live. If they can get up and they're mobile and they can walk around and talk and play games and eat, you want them to have some type of interaction with people while they're awake. And then if they need something little tiny to help them sleep, that's good. Maybe. It's up to you. All right, well, I hope everyone's going into this with the right mindset. Hope you're all doing well. Try not to get frustrated. Happy spring. Spring is on the way. I'll try to get out another video as soon as I can. I hope you take care of yourself. We're all getting ready. Well, not all of us, but many people are getting ready for Easter. And that should be fun. I'll see you soon.